So old ass Stallone is still out there trying to fight terrorists. What the hell is going on with this?
God bless him for it, man. No, here's what's I love Stallone. Stallone is my hero, and not just be in that way where when I was 13, Stallone was like the coolest guy on the planet, because he was. But
Yeah.
you know what Stallone is doing right now is he's making a series of films that are allowing us to say goodbye to our childhood heroes. And at the same time, those heroes are growing up. This is very much a Rambo movie. I mean, everything that you want from a Rambo movie, this has. It's Rambo in the jungle, blowing shit up and killing people. That's what Rambo's doing.
And so now this whole rumor about him having doubles and everything, because he looked good in Rocky Stallone. I ain't gay enough, but I'm just saying he was built. That's who I want to be when I'm 60.
You sure about that?
Him, I make an exception. Maybe him, because he probably paid me well for it after it's done. But I have a theory. Sylvester Stallone is a Terminator. He ain't even a human.
This theory again, the John McClane theory, where we find out that he's a Terminator too.
I believe him and Bruce.
Are all of our heroes from the 80s Terminators?
Yeah, once you get over a certain age, you are not a human anymore. You are a cybernetic robot.
Well, what's really good about this is, again, just like Rocky Balboa, Stallone addresses the whole age thing. I mean, he's not the young guy he was. This is an old guy living in the jungle because he can't go home. Because he is
really?
Yeah, because he is fucked in the head. He knows he's fucked in the head, and this is the only place he knows, is a place that's dangerous, the place where he became a warrior. There's a scene in this movie that really makes this movie what it is. Without this scene, this movie could be laughable, but there's a scene where he essentially just says, "Look, I didn't kill for my country. I killed for me." And and there's nothing I can do about that. And you realize, as you go back and think about, all the problems that we have in this day and age with, First Blood, Rambo, First Blood Part 2, and then Rambo 3, and we think about how glorified that violence was at the time and how that wouldn't play today, it totally allows him to go on one more Rambo adventure, but with this dark twist that's kind of grown up with us.
I know, because he's like, he's not just killing people. He's like filleting people.
And the thing is, he's not alone. He's in the jungle with a bunch of mercenaries who are badass as well. And you've got this sniper guy named Schoolboy who's taking people's heads off with his high-powered sniper rifle. And, Rambo's running around with a machete, gutting people and getting on the back of Jeeps with giant machine guns and mowing down whole groups of people. And mortars are going off and people are exploding and there's blood and body parts everywhere.
This movie is almost, you making it sound like a horror movie.
Dude,
like,
he's not playing. It is gory. This is that gory action film from the 80s with the sensibilities of today. People have watched torture porn. How are you supposed to shock people with war when it's just shooting people and watching them fall down? That's not really what war is. That's just what we grew up with as war.
So John Rambo ain't fucking around no more.
He is not fucking around, dude. He's blowing shit up. But not just him. I mean, they've made his enemies like fucking despicable, dude. They're like evil.
I'm sorry. Say it again.
That's okay. They've made his enemies just despicable, dude. They're evil. They're not just, the evil guys in the jungle. These guys rape and torture and brutalize whole villages.
Oh, see, they got it coming.
No. The movie opens with these guys kicking a bunch of villagers out of the back of a truck, throwing a bunch of landmines into rice paddy water, and then making them race through the rice paddy water to see who will survive while they're taking bets on who's going to blow up.
Yeah, so you want to see them die.
And if that weren't enough, they have to make this. Oh man, they go where they should, because Rambo always was the right wing action hero. Let's face it.
Yeah,
this was not the democratic feel good guy. No, this was the right wing commie killing motherfucker. And so they even have to make the chief bad guy like this gay child molester. There's a scene where they're leading a young village boy into his room, and you see him like pat the kid's head before they close the door, and you're just like, oh man, this is so playing on what the right wants, but at the same time it's so awesome.
Man, this movie sounds insane.
It is insane. And you know what, this is one of those movies. It's like Rocky. If you love the Rocky movies, Rocky Balboa was everything you wanted from a Rocky movie. If you loved the Rambo movies, it's the same way. But if you thought the Rambo movies were silly, if you hated Rambo, if you never got him, this ain't your film.
Okay, so you honestly admit, like, if you thought Rambo was crazy,
this is not going to redeem it.
This is like 10 times as crazy as other Rambos.
Exactly, but this is the love letter to the fans. This is Rambo's final adventure. This is his last go. We're going to let you go with Rambo one more time and remember the Rambo that you dreamed of back in First Blood and Rambo First Blood Part 2, and we're just going to kind of ignore the whole suckage in Rambo 3.
So this is like his love letter put into a severed head and thrown to the fans
with a grenade in the mouth. That's what this is. It's, dude, ever since you were 13, you dreamed of watching Rambo kill hundreds of people. So you know what? We're going to let you watch him kill hundreds of people.
So what you're saying is that this movie is very realistic about war. I'm joking here, of course.
Ever since, I don't know how many of you out there have ever seen the movie UHF, but once you've seen UHF, you can never sit down and truly watch the original Rambo films again, because Weird Al Yankovic so nailed it with this over-the-top, and like sweeping with a machine gun and watching 10 guys lay down at the exact same moment. Just all that silliness that was inherent. And Stallone realizes that, and he's kind of taken it to a different level and made this gritty and bloody and gory as hell.
So this could have been called Rambo, fuck it. It's just like, I don't care anymore.
Rambo, dude, that head totally fucking exploded. That's what this could have been called. I watched more heads explode tonight than I think it's the story of Ricky. I mean, there's one scene where the sniper is just going nuts, and he's literally taking the tops off of people's heads, and one head actually literally blows up, and you see like the top of the body just kind of collapse to the ground without a head, and it's just like, this is so over the top, and yet it's so fucking good at the same time.
So you have to go in knowing, you admit this is silly.
Oh, there are times that are absolutely silly. Rambo was never, after the first movie, Rambo was never serious. He was a cartoon.
Yeah.
First Blood is a really great film. The problem with First Blood is it differentiates from the book. At the end of the book, Colonel Troutman's walking him out. He puts a gun to the back of his head and he blows his head off because he realizes this guy's a monster. He can't live in society.
Yeah.
He needed to die in Nam, and if he didn't, he has to die here. In the movie, they let him live, which was fine because that's how you have a happy ending in a movie.
Yeah.
But then they made a second movie where it's like, okay, Rambo, we need to send you back to Vietnam to free POWs and kill as many commies as humanly possible.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, Rambo, we're going to send you to Afghanistan this time to kill as many commies as humanly possible. And it's like, these were rated R movies, okay? Rated R movies in which guys get gutted and killed, and Rambo ends up with a chick, at least in the second one, and, until she gets blown up or however she died. I forget how she died. But the point is, they made a Rambo cartoon series.
That's what I was going to ask you. Now, is this as good as Rambo, The Force of Freedom, the cartoon series?
Now, having actually watched an episode of Rambo, The Force of Freedom tonight, I can honestly say this kicks the crap out of Rambo, The Force of Freedom. There's no guy with a mohawk. There's, no silly animation that's looped constantly.
But come on. Rambo is pretty much a cartoon.
That's what I'm saying. I had a Rambo and Colonel Troutman action figure when I was 11 years old, dude. How fucked up is that? How messed up do you have to be as an 11-year-old to have, a messed up Vietnam vet for an action figure? But there it was in my collection. No, he's totally a cartoon. This movie kind of brings it back and says, let's step away from that and make him dark and to a certain degree dealing with the fact that he was a cartoon. That's what works about this movie, is he acknowledges that he was wantonly killing. He wasn't killing for his country or for God or for, the American way. He was killing because that's what he does. And Rambo is a fucked up guy, and that's the only place he feels normal, is killing other human beings.
Who would let me ask you something. Now, it seems like a silly question, but sounds like a silly movie.
Yeah.
Who would win in a fight, Rambo or the Predator?
Well, that brings you to the real question is, who would win in a fight, Arnold Schwarzenegger as Dutch or Rambo?
And Dutch is from who?
Dutch is from Predator.
From Predator.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's character that killed the Predator was named Dutch. And could Dutch beat Rambo? That is the eternal geek question. You know, who would win, Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sly Stallone's Rambo? You know what? I don't know. Could Rambo? I think Rambo could kill the Predator. I think Rambo could definitely do a number on the Predator.
So Rambo could not only kill Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he could kill the Predator himself.
Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger's tough. I don't know if he could totally kill Schwarzenegger, but Schwarzenegger killed a Predator, and Rambo could kill a Predator. And together, who would win there? I don't know.
Man, look, I thought this was crazy from the beginning, but you kind of sold me on this movie. You let me know ahead of time, like, don't go in expecting anything serious. Go in expecting Stallone to have lost his complete fucking mind.
Dude, it's and by the same token, you'll enjoy it. I mean, there's some goofiness, but the overall tone of the film, if you're a Rambo fan, if you grew up liking the Rambo films, you're going to dig this because this is everything the Rambo films were and distilling it down and letting you say goodbye to that character that you loved. See, that's what I love about what Stallone's doing right now, because rather than letting both of his characters, both Rocky and Rambo, petered out. So their final films were really lame. Rambo 3 and Rocky 5, that's how we remembered our hero. So what Stallone did is he went and made a final chapter for each of those characters that went back to the roots of the character and let us say goodbye and enjoy one last ride with these guys, and I love that.
So we're not going to get another Rambo.
No, clearly not. No, there's no reason to make another Rambo, and this movie sets it up to where there doesn't need to be another Rambo. This is how the movie ends. This is how Rambo ends up.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that Stallone is going back and closing off these characters, because I've always wanted to see what happened to the character that Stallone played in Rhinestone. You remember that movie he did with Dolly Parton?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Rhinestone Part 2, where he flips out on Dolly Parton and stabs her in the breast, you know?
See, you joke, but you know what? I'm going to suggest something that you might actually be interested in.
Oh, yeah?
Kurt Russell, Tango and Cash 2.
Oh, no, hell no.
Hell no? No. Are you kidding? I mean, that sounds kind of badass to me. Further Adventures of Sly Stallone and Kurt Russell.
The Further Adventures, they didn't really have that great of adventure the first time around.
Come on, it would be, Grumpy Old Men 3. It would be awesome.
Well, when you put it that way, I can't argue. What would you give this movie?
You know what? I would say for a Rambo fan, full price. And I have to put that caveat there. Do not go into this unless you already like Rambo.
Okay, that's a good question. Non-Rambo fan.
Non-Rambo fans, I would say rental. It's not going to be anything you're into. You might enjoy it for the bloody violence, but it's not. This is a film that is very much tailor-made to be a love letter to the fans and nothing more. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think it's going to be a huge, super, uber blockbuster as a result, but it will do like what Rocky Balboa did, where the fans went, the fans loved it, and walked out going, Rocky, Rocky.
Yeah.
Well, the Rambo fans all walked out going, hell yeah, dude, that was awesome.
Yeah, no, I like that. Who win the fight, Rambo or Rocky?
Oh, dude, Rambo. Rambo, come on. Rocky would be, hey, yo, Farina, I'm going to come and I think we better box like a man. And Rambo would be, fuck this shit, I'm snapping your neck. End of story.
But he wouldn't even snap his neck. He sliced his neck off.
He might, but no, he's popped a couple necks in his time,
Oh, okay.
But no, if it got mano a mano, yeah, he could pull out that awesome knife, or just pull out that great M60 that he stands there with holding, even though everyone else in the world has to mount it because of the kick on that thing. And I take out half of Philly, and it would be awesome. So yeah, no, totally Rambo.
I'm sold, man. I'm gonna go see this just to see how crazy it is.
Awesome.
I mean, even if you're not a Rocky fan, it's just like I got to see this just to see how insane this is.
Yeah, no, it's pretty insane.
Excellent. I like this. Thank you. Well, say you're welcome.
You're welcome.